Hello guys, this is Nilabja. I'm a graduate student at UTD and I'm going to share a video on how to run a basic application on your AWS Cloud EC2 and store files on S3. So before I go ahead with this video, a word of caution. I do still stutter sometimes, but I will do my best to pronounce everything very clearly to help you understand. So what we're trying to do here, we are fetching a live Twitter stream into a tweet listener. We are instantiating a tweet listener with the Python tweepy module. We're analyzing the same data in Spark by frame after frame, and after processing, we are storing it as a data file in S3, which is available for anything you can do with it. That you can do some data visualization, you can do some analytics and insights, and a lot more. I won't be going much details into the sentiment analysis part because a lot of material, course materials is really available online courses. I would really recommend you some courses at the end of this video, and which will enable you to go a lot more depth on the sentiment analytics subject. So I would go ahead and start my Oracle VM VirtualBox Manager, which is running Ubuntu 18.04, which is already running in my machine. And I have opened the Firefox browser and I have opened my AWS Management Console. AWS is free for 1 year. You don't have to pay anything, and there is you can use most of the AWS resources under a certain limit, and certainly you can use a lot of EC2 and S3 for free. Now, before I go on explaining you about AWS, I want to quickly run through the code which we will be running and as a Python app on what we are exactly trying to do and what we are trying to achieve over here. So there are four scripts that we are going to migrate to the cloud system. One is the Python script, Python cloud script, which mainly contains the Spark code, and the other is the Twitter listener, which kind of makes the API call. So if we go inside the Twitter listener script, we are using the module TP, sorry, and we are instantiating a tweet listener class with the stream listener, and the function of this class is basically to make the Twitter API call and then send the tweet to a TCP socket, which we are initializing down here. A point to note, we will use the same TCP socket in our Spark code to listen to these tweets. So let me go into the Spark code. And here we are. We first of all, we reinitialize the Spark library. We build a Spark context. We build a streaming context. Sorry, excuse me. We have some we have some functions where we have done some sentiment analytics. We have used the library text blob for sentiment analytics. Here we are performing the Spark library functions where we are using map, flat map. We are using the two RDD for each RDD function. Sorry, for each RDD functions here, and we are using the window function here. And after processing, we are printing a lot of stuff over here. We are getting what is the most used hashtags during a time frame. We have selected a time frame of 3 minutes, which kind of moves in an interval of 1 minute, and then we are storing the file in S3. This using the Boto3 library. This is about the code which we will run, and let us jump straight ahead to the AWS console. The AWS console, the first place to go would be your identity and access management. This is very essential to get your your AWS access key and your access secret ID. So here you can add a user, basically a test user, and you can give them programmatic access and the console access. Next, go to permissions. You can add this user to a group. You can copy existing permissions, or you can attach policies directly. For faster access, this is not definitely not the best practice, but you can directly attach the administrator access here and then click on next to review. And when we click on create user, this user will be created and you will be prompted to download a CSV file which will contain the Amazon access key and the Amazon access secret, which is later used to create the Boto3 session. So I am not doing this because I already have a set of users created. So I would directly go onto EC2. Now here we go on to launch instance. I select Ubuntu 16.4. Here it is T2 micro, fantastic. Configure instance details. And now is an important part. Now here you can put your own bash script. Now for the people who are not aware of what a bash script is, let me go and explain you a little bit. So if we go to documents, if we go to scripts, if we open this bash script. So basically bash script runs all the commands that used to update and like updating a software, updating a programming language, an engine, which you want to be installed when you instantiate a EC2 system. So imagine your EC2 system to be your local computer. So if you want to install Java, you want to install Python. So what you do for your own local EC2 instance. So if this is my local EC2 instance, to make an update, I would do sudo apt get update, and I provide the password. And it will go on updating. So this functionality I want automatically to happen when I instantiate the EC2 instance. That is the purpose of a bash script. So I want to do all of this. I want to install Python, I want to install curl, I want to install Java, I want to install Scala and all the Python libraries when my EC2 instance gets instantiated. Sorry. All right. So we have put the bash script and then we go to add the storage. We will give a 20 GB space. Let's add tags. Test system Spark. Sorry, this is going to be the name. This is the value. This will be my name. Good. Now we will configure a security group. We will add HTTP and we'll add HTTPS. Fantastic. We'll review and launch. And let's click on launch. Now this is very important. So for your demonstration, I will create a new key pair so that I will be able to explain you what to do with this. We create a new key pair, test key pair. So the test key pair, and this is the only place where you get to download the key pair. Please remember to download it here. All right. So we make sure that this has been downloaded, and then we launch the instances. Fantastic. Now it will take some time, so I will pause the video and get back to you when it is done. So, all right. So our checks are complete. Now we will log into our EC2 instance. So before doing that, let me first check our key. Where is our key? Which we okay, here is our key, test key pair PM. So for convenience, I will copy this to the same folder we have our scripts. All right. So now what I'll do is I will open in a terminal and I'll do chmod. This is very important to change the permissions. Excuse me, why is that happening? Okay, let's try one more time. Sorry, I have given the wrong extension. How silly. Now we are good. And next we will log in with the SSH. So we do SSH. We will give Ubuntu at the rate. We give the IP address. Copy to clipboard. Paste over here. -I and the key pair. Test key pair.pm. And hooray, we are into our EC2 instance. Now let me check that whether my bash script has run or not. Let me check the Java version. It's good. Let me check the Scala version. It's good. Let me check the Python version. Fantastic. So I'll quit and proceed further. Now, before going ahead, let me install this. Let me initialize the Spark. So I have all the additional commands ready with me, which we will follow one by one. All right. So here we have the command for heading the Spark instance. Please note that this is a .tgz file which we have to unzip. And so our next command will be to unzip the file. And it is done. Now we will first change the permissions. And the permissions are open. So we will log into the file to check if everything is working fine. We log into Python and we open Python 3 and we should be able to import PySpark. Yes, it's working. So we are done. So now what we will do is we have to set some environment variables. and all together. Sorry. All done. Now let's clear the screen, and we will have to import the files from our local system to our EC2 cloud. For that, we go on to our local terminal. So let me go on here, open in terminal, and we will use the scp command to do that. So the scp command is right here. I will copy and modify it according to my case. So my case changes to test key pair dot pem, and I'm importing tweet listener, AWS credentials, Twitter credentials.py, and also Python cloud script.py, and we have to change the Ubuntu computer name. So this would be coming from here. So make sure we copy the names correctly. The Twitter listener, the AWS credentials, the Python cloud script.py, the Python cloud script.py, and the Twitter credentials.py, and the Twitter credentials.py. So all done. So all of the scripts are copied into my EC2 instance. We will see how we can verify that. So if we go on to our Ubuntu instance, we go back to our home directory and we type ls. So we have everything here. We have our Python cloud script, our Twitter credentials, our tweet listener.py, and our AWS file. So fantastic. Now what we'll do is we will run this. Now this is a very useful tool where I used to split my screen here because it allows me to run both the scripts at the same time at the same place. So you guys should also use this. The command is tmux, and the command we press Control B and then Shift 5. So we have to we have actually split the terminal screen into two parts where we can run our commands in parallel. So on one screen I will run Python 3, Python cloud script.py, and for navigating to the left hand side we press Control B and then the left arrow. So here we are, Python 3, Twitter listener.py. Now, please keep in mind what is the topic that we have chosen when we have uploaded our script. So the topic is US Open. So we want to get all the tweets which people are tweeting about the US Open at this point of time. So let me run the other script. Okay, this is a very silly mistake. What I've done. Okay, I will go and change it right away. Yes, I'm going to save the file and we are good. So what I did was I did not change the directory to my Hadoop. So now I'm going to run the script and I'm going to do Control B to come in here and run this, and I'm going to do Control B and press Y, and here we are. On the left hand side we can see the tweets are slowly coming in. So we will allow a couple of seconds for the tweets to accumulate before we do any of our analysis. And please, I would want to repeat that as we are doing the Apache Spark on a local instance, this will be a lot slower than what we usually have an experience with Apache Spark or running on a cluster. And we'll slowly have our results. Let's wait for some time, just to give it a minute. And fantastic. So we have got some tweets like Brazilian coffee, white label coffee, US Open. I really don't know why people are talking about coffee here. So who can see the file name which has been uploaded to S3 is the hashtag 09062018 034830.csv. Now we will go to S3 and check our S3 bucket if the same file is created or not. and it is there. 09/06/2018 03/48/30 says CSV. We open the file, we'll try to see the same contents. All right, allow pop-ups, and we'll open it. And it is the same thing. So we have successfully managed to get a stream of Twitter data, process it, and save the file to Amazon S3. Now, and let's try out some other topic, like if you want to check some of the more interesting topics. So to terminate, I will interrupt the code. Okay, and Control B left. I will interrupt the code over here. I will clear the screen. Control B left. I'll clear the screen. And let's open a nano Twitter listener.py. Let's make some things a bit interesting. Okay, let's see what people has to say about the upcoming elections in this state. Ted Cruz and Beto. All right, so we will do this. Stream Control B. Python 3 cloud script. Control B left. Python 3 tweet listener. Right. Y. And here goes. Tweets are floating in. We'll wait for a few minutes, and all there. So we can see the tweet tags, the hashtags, which are very currently trending here. We can see a positive sentiment of 16.28%. We can see a neutral sentiment of 72%. We can see a negative sentiment of 11.63%, and the S3 file name has been stored here. Sorry, excuse me. So yeah, so that is pretty much it, guys. So before running the code, let me uh, so so before running the code, let me show you what I did in S3 and how that is running. So if you go to S3, I have already created this bucket Twitter data analysis in Nilabja. You can create a very similar bucket. Please note that there are certain restrictions on how you can name a S3 bucket. So for example, test bucket Nilabja Spark. This might be a new bucket. Copy settings. We can keep the versions of the same bucket. we can keep put a next, next, and then if we click on create, the bucket will get created, which I already have under Twitter a data analysis. So this is how we create a S3 bucket, and we mention the same S3 bucket name in our Spark code where we are uploading the data. So here is the bucket name, the Twitter data analysis comma file name. So that's pretty much it guys. I mean, if you want me to elaborate on anything, try running the code, download the code from the GitHub link. Try doing this on your own. If you face any problems, just subscribe, comment, give me a ping in LinkedIn, shoot me a mail. I will try to answer as many questions as possible. So thank you so much for watching the video and enjoy the rest of your day.